gentlemen, this is Cyrus Brocha, also known as Bunty Sharma in parts of the north. And I must say, today my father is a very proud man because after 30 years of struggling, finally I have been able to land an event that includes a bike. Now you must be thinking that I don't know much about bikes, but according to the Indian Penal Code, it is a crime, ladies and gentlemen, it is a crime to ask a Parsi such questions. So never do that. Because let me tell you that Parsis ka khoon mein biking hota hai bhai. We are the people who enjoy spending our holidays by polishing and cleaning our bikes. Yes, we don't love our BVs, we love our bikes. Also our BVs, but more our bikes. Okay, almost 50-50 bikes. Okay, folks, everybody, welcome to the launch of a superstar and a legend of the biking world. It's Y4. Yezdi is back with a bang. And I love it because I have had a million memories about a Yezdi. Back in the 80s, people didn't have an Aadhaar card, but they had a Yezdi. We could identify our neighbors, friends and relatives according to what they were with the Yezdi. The Yezdi guys were the OG bad boys for all the bad boys and the not so saint-hearted ones. Yezdi is launching today, and so we should call up on stage the men who are responsible for revving the iconic Yezdi bikes. The men who learned to ride before they learned to walk. The men who love the smell of burning rubber. They are men amongst men. Please welcome the founders of classic legends Boman Rustam Irani and 80 alias Anupam Thareja. What a great feat today. Very excited. Bike lover. Love the Yezdi. I have so many stories myself. But I want to begin with my father's words to me, Boman. This is for you actually. He told me, if you want to be happy for a day, drink wine. If you want to be happy for a year, you get married. And if you want to be happy for a lifetime, you ride a bike. But if you want to be happy for generations, be a Yezdi rider. This is what he told me. And I had failed 10th standard at that point.
Father knows best.
He knows best. You can't argue with that, with the older generation. And I've seen that happen in front of my eyes, Boman, Anupam. So many Yezdi lovers who swear by its name. How do you relate to all these stories? Boman first.
Whenever we got a chance, we used to just get off on a bike and keep riding. And I remember I was so crazy. I used to ride from Mysore to Ooty. And I used to take that shortcut which had the 42 hairpin bends going up the Ooty, from Masnagudi to Ooty slope. And then have a cup of chai out there, ride all the way to Bangalore the same day, and actually enjoy that cold air straight in your face and the rain hitting down on you, etc. etc. It was great fun. I just used to love to ride. I could do it every single day of the week.
And just for a cup of chai. 80, you were the one who approached Boman with the idea, I believe, of getting this back, reviving Yezdi as a brand. So I want to know why you wanted to do that. What's in it for you in that sense?
See, financial all aside, I'm a biker. I love it. And when a boy grows up and he asks his dad, motorcycle le do. So dad, fights, whines, dangerous, and then finally goes and gets him a bike. That's one kind of a father-son relationship. The other is, when a guy says, I want a bike, he actually means, I want your bike. And the dad proudly gives him the keys of the bike and say, hey, you deserve it now. Go, enjoy. That bike is Yezdi. Now that's the kind of brand this is. And if I could play a part in getting that brand back, why wouldn't I do that?
I'm actually, and it's not a Miss India moment, but I'm actually getting goosebumps when you're saying that. I'm just thinking how emotional that would be for a bond that the bike is a real heirloom. And that Yezdi has that ability to, have that legacy in the family. It's a hand-me-down.
All my life, I have wanted to see the Yezdi back on Indian roads. And the day I met Anupam and I thought this would be a reality, somewhere up there, I kind of told him that my father will be smiling and he'll be happy man, that his son has really gone out there and done it again. And I look forward to the day when I see the Yezdi back again. And now I'm getting goosebumps.
And you have no idea, guys, how many bike lovers want to thank you for this. They're really grateful.
You have to know this, right? Normally, a guy goes to the office. I'm a developer, so I wear my shirt, folded sleeves, go there. One fine day, I get a call from Anand Mahindra. And he says, hey, Boman, I'm sending someone to meet with you. Anand's sending someone to meet with you. You wear a jacket and come to the office. It's boiling hot, but you wear the jacket and sit down in your AC office. And in walks a man, long flowing hair. He didn't have a beard then. Long flowing hair, malas around his neck, wearing a little kurti. There's a lot of bawa in him, I can tell you that, Cyrus.
But I'll complete this story. This you have to hear. I think I patawed him. He was completely impressed, sitting in his boots and all that. And then I say, I want to do this. And he says, this guy's going to revive Yezdi. Just let's give the brand and let him do what he wants to do.
You have witnessed Parsi dynamism at its best. It's very rare. In an interview, by the way, now that you mentioned business, you said you don't sell motorcycles, you sell motorcycling. Tell me, who will you compete with?
The moment you take it away that it's not a product, it's a lifestyle. Then I start competing not with motorcycles. A guy wants to go bungee jumping in New Zealand, skydiving in Spain, scuba diving in Maldives, drifting on ice in a sports car in Sweden or Gothenburg. He's looking for experience. I am actually going to give you this product which is going to give you that experience every day. So I compete with these things. And then there are people who are seeking higher level, spiritualism. So it's like go on a yoga retreat, go on a meditation retreat, go on Vipassana in Dharamshala, or take this bike to the mountains and go discover yourself. So frankly, the moment you take this out that it's a motorcycle, you will understand what Yezdi means. Yezdi is a lifestyle. It is a way of life. It is, what else can I say to you?
When you both talk about Yezdi being a bike for not the saint-hearted, what is it that you guys are exactly implying?
This is the Yezdi boy, the bad boy. So we are moving away from the protagonist and saying, this is the good guy's envy. Right? Let's face it, there are times all these youngsters are on gadgets. I think this bike is from an era where our dads lived a cooler life than ours. I'm saying, hey, I'm giving you this. Go discover, explore, just go wild, just let that thing come out. So nothing is off limits with Yezdi.
So the bike is back. It's the bike of generations. Aag lagne wali hai. So let's move on. In fact, Bomman, I have a question because there are three amigos, right, in this whole thing, and we're missing one. We have the brat, we have the legacy, but Zen kahan hai? This is
kahin nahi gaya, yahin pe hai. He's going to join us from Dubai right now. The pillar, the Zen, Mr. Anand Mahindra.
Hello, sir. Sir, I've always found you to be like this serious business icon. Here's my question. How does a fun, adventure, zest for life sort of brand like Yezdi fit into your style?
I thought you'd be skeptical about that. But let me answer your question in two parts. First, where fun fits into my life, and then second, where it fits into the Mahindra style. I actually first studied to be a filmmaker, and so my fundamental instincts are creative. When I decided to switch to business, I resolved that I would quit my work if I couldn't be creative and entrepreneurial in that field as well. And by God, have a lot of fun while working. And as far as the Mahindra brand is concerned, remember that the predominant image of the brand in the public's mind is still automotive, and about SUVs in particular. SUVs are workhorses, and they help hardworking people rise. But they're also about off-roading, and about recreation, about fun. So for Mahindra to help resurrect an incredible lifestyle brand like Yezdi, it's only natural. With the Yezdi, nothing is off limits.
Wow, well said, sir. I couldn't have said it better. And in fact, sir, I'd like to follow-up question. I read somewhere that you're a big fan when it comes to films and music. So here's my next question. What for you will be on your Yezdi playlist?
I recently curated my very own Thar playlist when we launched the new Thar. In fact, you can get that playlist as a standard when you buy a new Thar. So I can't help lifting at least one song from that playlist. Musafir Hu Yaro, from the movie Parichay in the 70s. It's my all-time favorite road song, whether you're hitchhiking, riding a Yezdi, or you're in a Thar. And as far as rock classics are concerned, my entry in the heart-pumping variety is Easy Rider by Hendrix. Now, how could I leave Hendrix out? I'm from the Woodstock generation after all. But to be honest, I think the all-time great motorcycle song is in fact the Motorcycle Song by Arlo Guthrie.
Anand, sir, I would like you to address everyone, or rather to everyone, and share your philosophy about Yezdi in a nutshell. Please, sir.
Contrary to what people from the current generation would think, the 70s were quite an exciting era. And apart from the industrial revolution that was changing the face of India, there was another revolution brewing up in the streets of our country, motorcycling. Fast forward to a few decades, and that's when, over a casual conversation, Anupam and I realized that that spirit still existed, passed on over generations. It was only waiting for the right motorcycle, and that's why we're here today. What you're going to see in a few moments from now is an ode to that spirit. It's a call to every biker to come and relive that free-spirited life, of course, in a new avatar. And to all the people who kept this fire burning all these years, we owe it to you.
Superb. Thank you so much for your insight, sir. I only want to say one last thing after this. आपसे मिलकर मुझे बहुत आनंद मिला. Anyway, let's get back to our show where we're talking about the two brands in India that we have now. We are humbled by Java and Yezdi. So how do they fit in? Let's ask the masters.
So to my mind, even though the brands have come sequentially, first Java came and then Yezdi came, but for us, when we conceptualized this company, Classic Legends, when we wanted to get the true biking back, the adventure biking back into this country, we imagined them together. So, to filmy hai to tere ko filmy parlance mein samjha.
Why not? Why not?
Right? In Sholay, for example, Jay and Viru, connected to the hips, best of friends, die for each other, but two different personalities, right? One is fun-loving, going after Basanti, the other guy is a serious guy. Or for the new generation, Dil Chahta Hai, you saw how Akshay Khanna and Amir, best of friends, but two completely different personalities. So these are two. Java is an understated classic. Right? It's a kind of a guy you may not notice coming in, but you'll remember when he's gone. Whereas Yezdi is this guy who walks in, he's jovial, he wears his heart on the sleeve, So these two will complement each other. This will complete my product portfolio and my product line for my consumers. So they were imagined together. They will be sold from the same dealerships. So we'll give the bike-loving country a full array between Java and Yezdi.
Would you like to share some stories about how you arrived at the Yezdis that you are launching today, and what are the challenges that you faced while creating the bike?
Okay, so before we reveal the bikes, I'm going to give you a reveal. We're launching 3 bikes. Okay, I think if you see the commonality, they're gorgeous by design. We are a design-led company, and then perfected by engineering. But unlike people used to play with their bikes to do different things, we always promise that we will give you factory customs. We will give you the bike for the right reason, with the right look, right technology, and the right kind of maneuverability, and that's what we have done. So yes, we're launching 3 bikes, a Roadster, an Adventure, and a Scrambler.
Okay, so Baman and 80, enough with the teaser. I think by now we all know that the lovers of Yezdi are not so saint-hearted as you guys have said, and I don't want to get stabbed or beaten up by the notorious bike lovers, so let's not keep them waiting. We all want to see the shining night of biking.
So India, it is time not to be saint-hearted. Burn the map. Go ride solo, because the king of the roads is here.
Presenting to you the beast that'll bring out the beauty of riding once again on Indian roads. With the power, the thrill, and the excitement, let's present the Yezdi.
When you are journeying through life, you realize pretty quickly there are things you can do, and there are things that are off limits. Some hobbies look good on a resume. Some are off limits. Tats and piercings are okay in some places. In some places, they're off limits. Boss's wife can eye you. Giving it back is off limits. I don't know. Somehow all this saintly stuff. It's good for the world to remain sane. To stay within their limits. But if the world didn't have us, there'd be no cautionary tales for the good boys and girls. Yezdi, not for the saint-hearted.
Why 3 Yezdi models? Because why not? When bringing such an iconic brand back, we thought, why not go the whole hog and give lovers of the brand everything Yezdi stood for? The spirit of adventure, the spirit of unapologetic fun, and the spirit of thrill. So here we have the Yezdi Adventure, the Yezdi Scrambler, and the Yezdi Roadster. The 3 motorcycles that you see here today are manifestation of that quintessential Yezdi spirit. And what do these new motorcycles stand for? Starting with the Yezdi Adventure. It's our flagship touring machine. One look at it is enough to send you onto a transformational journey. Authoritative in its personality and assertive in its performance, the Yezdi Adventure is designed to fulfill every requirement of a long-distance rider. Be it the off-road styling, comfortable ergonomics, sure-footed handling across all terrains, and a host of rider aids. This motorcycle is built for you to tick every destination and riding trail off your bucket list. Next up is the Scrambler. Embodying the spirit of unapologetic fun, a motorcycle made to satiate your desire for bursts of serious trail riding on the weekends and snaking through traffic on weekdays. The Yezdi Scrambler makes everyday riding fun. The Scrambler styling is dripping of mischief with a typical Scrambler flyline. Simple seat with classic round tank, a tucked-in headlamp along with an offset speedo pod, upright commanding handlebar position, typical Scrambler twin exhausts, on off-road tires along with a front fender beak, giving a distinct character to the machine. Next up, the Yezdi Roadster. The Yezdi Roadster completes this trio, adding thrill to your everyday ride. Endowed with sheer road presence and muscular dimensions, the Roadster is a uniquely styled motorcycle with a perfect blend of classic style and modern touch. The motorcycle boasts an elegant silhouette with its visual weight spread across the design, giving it a muscular and planted character. Comfortable split seats, embellished with chrome arc, highlight the seat line, while a compact headlamp and a tightly packaged engine area lend solidity to the overall design. Alloy wheels, along with tubeless tires, flanked with chopped fenders, add to the beefy looks. Now talking about the engine and performance of these motorcycles. Coming to the engine, all 3 motorcycles are powered by 334cc liquid-cooled engines. But that's where the similarity ends. All the engines are in different states of tune for each of the respective machines to complement the form and bring out the right motorcycle character. Starting with the Adventure. It produces a max power of 30.2 PS at 8,000 RPM and a max torque of 29.9 Newton meters at 6,000 RPM with a rising power and torque curve. The Scrambler produces 29.1 PS at 8,000 RPM of max power and a peak torque of 28.2 Newton meters at 6,770 RPM and an absolutely flat torque curve so that you have torque spread across the entire rev range. Now coming to the Roadster. It delivers peak power of 29.7 PS at 7,300 RPM and 29 Newton meters at 6,470 RPM. Talking about the chassis and the dynamics of each of these motorcycles. To suit their different personas, each motorcycle features purpose-built chassis and suspension setup, tuned to offer superlative handling across different terrains. The Roadster features a dual cradle chassis which is tuned to offer great on-road mannerisms and offers fantastic stability on straight line as well as superior cornering abilities. The Adventure features an all-new chassis suspended on a unique monoshock swing arm set up at the rear and long travel telescopic forks in the front, which give it an edge on off-road as well as the tarmac. The result is superb handling across various terrains. In spite of being a tall motorcycle, the Adventure is surprisingly nimble across corners too. The Scrambler is tuned for mischief. The frame enables quick maneuvering and confident handling across various terrains. The precision handling of the Scrambler ensures that it never misses the mark. It's got telescopic forks at the front and gas-charged twin shocks at the rear. The short wheelbase of the motorcycle is packaged for fun riding and sliding through those scrambling trails. Another feature on these motorcycles, all three of them, is the class-leading ground clearance. In addition to the superlative engineering package on these motorcycles, the motorcycles also have a host of features. All three motorcycles come with an LCD speedo with standard functionalities such as trip meter, distance to empty, time, gear indicator. The Adventure additionally has Bluetooth connectivity and turn-by-turn navigation as standard. Adventure and Scrambler also have 3 different riding modes, the standard one being road mode and the 2 others being off-road and rain mode. So no matter what terrain, you can get the best out of these machines. Coming to the most awaited question, the pricing. The Roadster starts at 1,98,142 ex-showroom Delhi. And the Scrambler at 2,04,900 ex-showroom Delhi again. The Adventure starts at 2,09,900 ex-showroom Delhi. Bookings for all 3 motorcycles are open from today, online and at our 300 plus dealerships across the country. The motorcycles are available for you to test across our dealership network. So why wait? Visit our stores, get in, take a test ride. And one last thing, the deliveries are on from day 1 so that you don't have to wait to get astride these machines. I'm sure you'll have a tough time picking one from this trilogy. So guys, I can't wait to head over to our dealership to test ride these machines and get my hands on one. What about you?
All right, from today, nothing is off limits. So all you guys out there, not so saint-hearted people, you know how to fulfill your unfulfilled desires. And what I mean by that is I'd like to thank Boman, AT, Anand Mahindra and Ashish for joining us today and unleashing the bad boy that was caged inside me. I'm going to buy a Yezdi and then fulfill all my desires. You do the same. But remember, you have to pay for your own fuel. That's not part of the deal. Okay, we'll talk later. Aapko setting karega baad mein. We're all saying goodbye. So thank you, Yezdi. Thank you guys behind it. And thank you. All right, as we say bye, I'll just discuss discounts with these gentlemen. Because mere liye kuch setting or influence hai. Ashish is a good personal family friend. But bye-bye and welcome to the world of Yezdi.
When you are journeying through life, you realize pretty quickly there are things you can do, and there are things that are off limits. Some hobbies look good on a resume. Some are off limits. Tats and piercings are okay in some places. In some places, they're off limits. Boss's wife can eye you. Giving it back is off limits. I don't know. Somehow all the saintly stuff. It's good for the world to remain sane. To stay within their limits. But if the world didn't have us, there'd be no cautionary tales for the good boys and girls. Yezdi, not for the saint-hearted.